What's going on, everybody? Welcome into, it's the OG Pub Hub crew. I don't know what we want to call the show, but I'm happy to be rocking with my boys. We've been doing the show for a while. I want to talk I want to talk the games out with y'all. I don't want to be out here solo dolo. That's what my boy WAM says. So here we are. I know the guys in the comments. I saw it already. We appreciate you guys. They said they appreciate it. They had to make it for the OG crew, and said, "Hell yeah, can't stop these guys." So we're happy to be here. Wham, I'll kick it to you first. How the playoffs been treating you, and how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I'm above water right now. So far, we are okay. Yesterday we had a bad day yesterday for sure. 0-2 on plays, but overall we're still playing pretty good. Hit a lot of good plus money, especially with that Lakers there. So shout out to the Lakers. We ain't gonna talk too much about that, even though this is still a Lakers podcast. This year we on Skee channel now, so it's definitely a Lakers podcast. So y'all gotta hold it down. But yeah, man, I'm happy to be here with the crew. See my guy Babano, Dutch Boy Fresh, and yourself, man. Can't wait, bro. I can't wait to cap all these games out with y'all.
Yeah, good stuff. And Babano, how you doing?
It's great to be here, Skee, and it's nice not to host for a change. I'll let someone else take care of that shit for a change. I love it. I can just sit back and
It's a little bit different for me.
Just be an analyst or just talk about the game. So that's pretty cool. But I'm glad we're doing this. It broke my heart to see the NBA Pub Up come to an end. So we figured we all put because I reached out to Skee right away, and I'm like, this is going to free up some time. I'll do some NBA content with you during the playoffs. Now that we don't have that show anymore. And he said, well, let's do one better. Let's get the OG crew together again on a Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, the same time, and let's break down some NBA playoffs. So, yeah, I'm excited. I love working with you guys. I have right from day one. We got great chemistry. I think we're a great group together doing this shit, so I love it. And playoffs have been up and down for me, quite honestly. But yesterday, some good, some bad. I was with you, Skee, on getting burned by Milwaukee. Laying the points. I just thought we were going to see a repeat of Philly beating down Brooklyn, Boston beating down Atlanta. These teams that look like the superior team in the series to, win decisively. And they didn't start well. And then, of course, Giannis Antetokounmpo gets hurt. And that was ugly. That was him basically extended in the air for several seconds and then wham, right down on his back. On his tailbone, rough landing. So hopefully he's okay and able to return. The Bucks need him badly, but obviously Miami took advantage of that. And look, I was on the Lakers in the over. That was good to see that. The legend of Austin Reeves continues. Man, this guy's unbelievable right now. He's the guy that's scoring the big buckets at crunch time. I mean, it's really something to see just how he's played for the LA Lakers. Denver destroys Minnesota. I'm really pissed off I didn't take Denver. I was leaning Denver. I never pulled the trigger, but they just jumped all over Minnesota there. But the game of the weekend and game 2 tonight of the series as well was Golden State Sacramento. It was an incredible basketball game. It was back and forth. They were trading blows, Curry and Fox, back and forth, big baskets. I've never seen we'll get to it I'll save it for that game, but I've got things to say about Domantas Sabonis. I've never seen a softer fucking candy-ass performance in a game 1 than I saw from that fucker the other night. Slam dunk at the basketball that night. I couldn't believe it, how soft he was. I'll say more on it when we get to that game, but I'm excited to be here with you guys.
Absolutely. And Dutch, we get to talk about your favorite team today. It's good to have you on the show. How you feeling, my man? And we got somebody.
We brought the sound effects over too. Mic issues.
Is it me?
I think we can't. We could barely hear you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, let's give Dutch a second there. Then let us know when you back ready. That shirt says, "Damn, it feels so good." You got a nice little shirt there, though. I like that shirt.
Yeah, that shirt fire. I like that shirt. That shirt fire as hell. And you see the town hat on too. You already know the vibes. You know the vibes he on.
Hey, you might have to hop back in, Dutch. Yeah, he already know. Let's take a look at the chat real quick before we do start. We got 2 games today. We'll talk about those. We'll touch a little bit on, the games for tomorrow and a little bit on the games for Wednesday. Just get as much in as we can. So everybody's loving it so far. The OG crew.
Yo, Razor ain't
what?
shit though. I
It's
remember
Dutch
my
for now,
first
but
time
we'll get it back.
streaming. Yeah,
Uh,
Razor code for that.
and BJ says his best bet already. Dutchy, you back with us? No, we can't hear you. I don't know what it is. He'll be back.
Yeah, it just
Tasha's
sound like
waiting
you
for you.
far.
Says Dutch the man.
Tell him to check
Hey,
his settings and also reboot
He
the
said his shirt is
computer.
fly, but
Sometimes that
his mic is broke.
look, they on him. Casey said Dutch because the Billy set up. Razor says, I
Oh
remember
my
my first time
god.
streaming.
Oh my god. They are crazy.
A lot
Is
of
this the new
I love
sesh?
the chat, man. He says his shirt is fly, but his mic is broke. That's why I love the channel because it's funny.
They going crazy. Shout out to y'all,
Look,
man. We can definitely go
Razor's
get
making
this
it
cracking,
simple.
man. We gotta get our
first
boy
show on our
here.
new platform, and Dutch can't get his fucking mic to work. That's just the way. There he
There
goes.
you go.
Yeah,
Ah, they
man,
kicking
there
your
you
ass,
go.
so.
Goddamn. I switched it over to earpod shit or where the fuck it is. Cause I had a show in the morning with motherfucking Jimmy's ass and the wifey. It'd be too loud for the wifey, you know. So my fault. But yeah, man, it's good to be back. It is Medicaid Monday, so hey, like our boy Wayne would say, it's only right, you know. It's only right, you know. We fully loaded here, and you know we gotta have the OGs on the motherfucking Medicaid Monday playoff edition. Come on now, they can't hold us down. Mean Green Picks in the motherfucking building. Good to see you, my dude G Martinez. Tasha, yeah, man, good to see you as well, beautiful young lady. I see Razor Sharp Picks in the building as well. Let them know. Share the video. Skee got us going. We're going to be here every Monday breaking bread. And, of course, we're going to hit him over the motherfucking head. Leader of the Nerd Nation, our guy, Picks from Dave, as well. Yeah, man, as you see, I want to talk about everything but previous basketball games, okay? Because I've been getting hit over the motherfucking head. I've been getting smacked this fucking around. So we can talk about tonight, and we can talk about some other shit. But yeah, man, I've been getting hit over the head, but it's going to be nice to break it down with 2, 3 gentlemen and everyone in the chat. And we're going to get to the bag, man. I've lost a couple days, you know, yeah. So I need some winners, and I feel like we're going to get them today. Believe it.
Let's do it, man. It's that time. So we got 2 games up for today. We'll touch those first. 521, 522. We're looking at Brooklyn in Philadelphia again. This game opened Philly. I have them as -10. Still sitting at -10 out there. Total open 215 is down as low as 211.5 at bookmaker. I see. As far as an injury report for both of these teams, I don't see anybody on it. So, how I'm thinking about this one, when we saw that first game, Philly won rather easily, right? I mean, how much better can the Nets play? They shot like 60-something%, 50-something% from 3, and they still lost by 20. So I'm gonna go backwards this time. I'm gonna kick it to my boy Dutch first. Can Brooklyn play any better, and can they stay in this game?
I don't believe so, bro. Honestly, I really don't. I mean, they shot lights the fuck out, as you mentioned. They shot very well from the field, 55%, 44%, I believe, from the 3-point line overall. You know, can they hang around early? Because let's be honest, Philly knows they're better than this team. I mean, they really know it. So if you want to get cute, I mean, I could maybe see you saying, okay, Philly knocked down 16 motherfucking threes in the first half. Last game, we're only up 9 at halftime. Are they going to do that again? Okay, I could see maybe. But Joe Embiid had a subpar like cruise control game. He was in cruise control 26. 11-11 from the free throw line. Really didn't even have to do much because they have 5 starters in double digits. Tobias Harris had 21. You know, James Harden was only 1 from 8 from the field, but knocked down 7 motherfucking 3-pointers to go with 13 assists. So to be quite honest with you, I don't think so. I think this number is still reachable. I'm not in the business of really laying big numbers like this in the NBA, but I do believe it's the Sixers or nothing here. And the only way I think you could look Brooklyn is early. I do think 26.5 points is too high for Mikal Bridges. He's only went over this number 1 time in this month outside of obviously game 1. Shot the lights the fuck out, played good. I know he's from the area, but I think they might pay a little bit more attention to him. Maybe get a little PJ Tucker on him, maybe a little McDaniels on him. I don't believe he's going over 26.5 points. I think it's too high. Also think 18.5 is too high for Maxey. As you can see, Mikal Bridges is shadowing him. that's the dude. They're like, okay, don't let Maxey get off. Nightmare matchup for Mikal Bridges is damn near a nightmare matchup defensively for anyone, but especially the size, the reach, the wingspan, the way he moves his feet for someone like Maxey. So I think 18.5 is too high for Maxey as well. But I could only look Philadelphia. They've been a bet-on team all year at the crib. We know how I feel about Brooklyn. They got a talented roster. They're not a team, in my opinion, yet, and they don't have a point guard. If you want to maybe think, I kind of look at Cam Johnson over 15.5 at even money. Looks kind of juicy to me. He had a nice, efficient game in game one. I don't think they're like really keen on him too much. I could look at Cam Johnson have a decent game, but I think it's simple. It's Philly at the house or nothing.
All right. I can't talk you off. He likes Philly. Also looking at some player props. Dutch, getting a little bit back to your roots, huh, with those player props.
Yeah, these props I did want to mention though, small. Like I'm looking down, breaking them down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start very small on these props. But hey, if I'm gonna bet them, I'm gonna let y'all know. I think I'm the Undertaker too, because I'm looking at the matchups. I'm looking at watched a lot of basketball over the weekend. I think 26 is too high for Mikal. I want to know what y'all fellas think about that, of course. And 18.5, I think Mikal Bridges is gonna shut. Now I don't want to say shut down Maxey, but he only had 13 in game one, and they're well rounded over there in Philly.
Well, I will say, I mean, that boy's from Philadelphia. He's been cooking since he's gotten over there to Brooklyn. I don't want a Mikal in my pocket. I don't want it in my pocket.
You ain't getting in front of it.
I'm not gonna feel comfortable.
He's been too good.
It's high though. No, 26.5. It's high for a reason, is what you're saying?
No. Yeah, I think it's high for a reason. So I'll ask you that same question, Bobano. What you think about that? But also, what do you think about, another reason why this Nets team lost is because they got killed on the boards. I mean, they're giving up how many second chance opportunities? If you're letting them get, 3 chances to score every time down the floor, you're going to get killed. Do you see that changing tonight? And what do you think about that Bridges prop?
Yeah, I've been on a lot of Bridges props over. If you've been watching the Pub Hub shows the last few weeks, I mean, definitely I've been on a lot of Bridges overs in Brooklyn games. It's difficult for me to get off that train of thought because of just how great he's been shooting the basketball. And to be quite honest with you, who else is going to step up consistently, shooting the basketball, quite honestly, for Brooklyn? I'm not sure. So I think the onus is once again going to fall on Mikal Bridges to be, definitely the primary go-to scorer for the Brooklyn Nets moving forward. But you hit the nail on the head, Skee, with the issues for the Nets in this series. These were the issues for the Nets coming into this series. They're still the issues for the Nets after game one, is they're just too damn small. Okay, they are. I mean, they're going to have issues dealing with Embiid down low. They got absolutely crushed in the rebounding department, as you alluded to and pointed out. And that's not really going to change. I mean, you are what your personnel is. And the personnel here for Brooklyn just can't match up, at least size-wise, against the Sixers. That being said, there are some attributes of Brooklyn that I do like early in this game. What I do like is they have a good coach in Jacques Vaughn. I believe that. I don't believe they're a team that's going to lay down and quit necessarily in this series. They're not winning this series. They're probably going home in 5. If I had to, I may give them 1 game in Brooklyn, but I think they're losing this series in 5. But I don't think they will lose, I don't think they will come out tonight flat. I think they'll come out after the way things started in game one with a good effort. I'm kind of interested. These will be small plays. These aren't strong opinions, but I am going to have a couple small bets on the first quarter and the first half for Brooklyn tonight, because I do think they could catch Philly napping a little bit. I've seen this out of Philly too in the playoffs in the past. They look great one game in the playoffs, and next game, they go through the motions, especially early. Takes them a while to warm up, takes them a while to get mentally locked in. And I'm wondering if we see that again from Philadelphia here tonight, because I don't trust Brooklyn full game, but I think for the first 12 minutes, first 24 minutes, I think you get a good first punch thrown by this Brooklyn Nets team here tonight in game 2. So I kind of like the first quarter and the first half look on the Brooklyn Nets, but that would be, for me, the extent of it. I think as far as the prop market goes, you look at the last game between these two teams, and certainly the rebounding department was won by Philadelphia. I don't know what changes there. I kind of like Spencer Dinwiddie over assists here for the Nets, because I think, if he's going to be doing a lot of the facilitation more than the shot making, you leave that to Bridges. Why not? Because he's been absolutely terrific shooting the basketball. So I like the assist prop over for Spencer Dinwiddie here tonight for the Brooklyn Nets, especially because I think you get Brooklyn early in the game coming out strong. So That's a prop that I really do like in this game. I'm not going to argue with over points and rebounds for Joel Embiid. I mean, he should have his way. I do want to point out, too, on the Philadelphia side, don't sleep on Jalen McDaniels. 5 straight games he's gone over his point prop, and it's only 4.5, and he's been averaging double digits during this span. So you talk about someone in the prop market that's really undervalued. You could be looking at him here for sure right now for the Philadelphia 76ers. So Jalen McDaniels point prop, I mean, for a guy that's averaging 11 in the last 5 games, he's gone over 4.5 in 5 straight games. That's staring me right in the face. How do you not bet that? Over 4.5 for Jalen McDaniels. So those are the 2 props I like, and I like Brooklyn early.
All right, Bobano wants to get in and out on this one with the Nets, thinking, after how that last game went, they want to start a little bit quicker and also throwing in some player props in there. Good stuff on that, Bobano. WAM and Big Boss. We were just talking about you and these lock
Yeah, I was
picks,
just
Big
I gotta go straight to Boss, bro. Come on, bro. You tripping, bro. You owe us at least a shrimp, motherfucker. You at least owe us a shrimp. No, yeah, man. I love the breakdown, especially what my guy Dutch was saying. We didn't talk before this game, and I think I may have said that to Skee a little bit, alluded to it a little bit, but I like that Mikal under, man. They got it juiced for a reason. They don't want the action on the minus 130 on the under with Mikal Bridges. They giving you plus 100, even money at the over there. So I kind of think Mikal digress a little bit here. I want to go right where my guy said it too. I want to talk about Cam Johnson. I think Cam Johnson, not the best way to end the season. He didn't have one of those better ways to end the season. I think he needs to be that second piece for these guys. He's kind of been straggling around. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be him and Mikal rather than everyone else. I think Spencer talks too much. We've seen him too in a little bit crazy on the online, back and forth with Kuzma and whatever. So he's not as locked in as our guy Babano was alluded to. He's not one of those guys that's locked in because he wasn't as effective yet last game. Only with 14.7 assists. I do like his assists to go over, though. I do like his double-double today, too. That's something I am leaning. I think he has that a double-double potential today. I'm leaning a little bit towards the Knicks, the Nets here, because I think it was so easy and it was so perfect game for Embiid, just being the way he was reacting to the double teams. And let's talk about, they really gave them extended a shoot around in that first half. I mean, those guys was wide open on those threes that they were having. Your guy McDaniels as well. Like, he was wide open a lot of those looks. I don't expect it was a good game for Tobias Harris. I will say that. Even on the defensive side, he was kind of showing his physicality against those teams. So he's going to be a little bit stronger than a lot of the guys on the other side. But I still expect that he kind of even falls a little bit in this game too. So I like that Mikal under, though, man. I didn't bet that yet, but now that I like that Dutch. You get my son. He got to hear me talking. He got to say something.
He likes the prop too. It sounds like. Yeah,
I think he loves the prop too. I think I like the under with the Mikal. I think that the books are letting us know they don't want no more money on this. Everyone expects it to be that narrative against Philadelphia. The old kid. Going against Philadelphia. I think it's more so the other guys. So I'm going to take the 2.5 3-point makes with Cam Johnson, man. That's going to be an official play for me at plus 120. That's going to be an official play. I think Cam Johnson is the one that you want to look for. Oh, DZ. I know she talked about the 3-point makes for Mikal, but I think Cam Johnson is going to be wide open on some of those corner looks, and he should be able to get over this 2.5 threes for us at 2.5 at plus 120.
So why I'm liking Cam Johnson, a lot of different looks across the board here. Different ways to make money in this game, and I love it. That's why I like that we're doing the show, because we can talk each other in and out of things, and just find all these ways to make some money. So good stuff on that first game. Let's move over. Casey can't wait to talk about her team. She said, man, this game is dookie. Golden State and Sacramento. We know you love those Warriors, Miss Casey. This game opened with Dutch's favorite team, -1. We've now seen a flip of favorites. The Warriors are -2. And the total open 240 is down to 239.5. Injury report. I see Jordan Poole game time decision. I believe it's with, ankle injury, something like that. Iguodala is not going to be playing, and Dellavedova will not be available for Sacramento Kings. So, that last game, all I'm going to say is this. Malik Monk, what do you have? 30 piece. De'Aaron Fox hitting threes like he's a splash brother. I don't know if we're gonna see those things again. How you feeling about your favorite team, Dutchy?
Yeah, man. This game, I hate to say it, but I felt like the Warriors are gonna get one. I really do. I didn't think they was gonna win game one, but I thought they could, obviously, and props to Sacramento. The Warriors made that run and they came back and still finished it off. De'Aaron Fox is fucking incredible, especially at crunch time. He really is. But I think the Warriors win this basketball game. I really do. I think this is their game to win. Not only that, that boy, that commentator over there running his mouth, kind of sounded like me pre-Warriors Warriors win against last year when I said they're not a dynasty. When I talked with Skee about the Warriors, I'm like, damn, he's talking pretty down about these boys. That's probably not what you want to do after one fucking win. But I just think personally, the Warriors, man, Wiggins is big, man. Wiggins is big. I think, he played 28 minutes at 17, 1 of 8 from the three. Obviously missed that big 3-pointer. If he makes that, we're talking a little bit different here. I think we see a little more Andrew Wiggins. I want to see a little bit more of him, a little bit more less DiVincenzo, to be quite honest with you. He needs to be, if you don't want to start him, okay, but I want 30 plus minutes out of Andrew Wiggins. I want ball in his hands, and I think they get it done. Steph does his thing. They had 31 assists in game one. All right, so I think they're sharing the ball. They're going to feed off of that. Compared to only 18 for Sacramento, however, they did turn the ball over 15 times. Need to clean that up a little bit and need to rebound the basketball a little bit, which I think a little bit more Andrew Wiggins on the court will help that as well. He only had 3, average 5 in the season, but I think he definitely helped the boards out as they were -9 in the rebounds. They got to get a little closer in the boards, but I also believe they're not going to shoot 32% from the 3-point line, 16 out of motherfucking 50 from deep. So I think the Warriors get a little bit, stroke it a little bit more from the 3-point line. Obviously they did shoot decently from the field. But I just think that the Warriors are going to share the ball as they did in game one, get a little bit more from the role players. And I think Andrew Wiggins will be the difference maker. I do think Curry will have a game, 30 points, right around there is where his over is. He'll be right around there. I'm not mad at anything. He can catch fire. But I think Andrew Wiggins is a difference maker. Jordan Poole could do his thing. I want to see a lot of Andrew Wiggins, and I simply think that the Warriors shoot better from the perimeter and win this basketball game. I figured they'd get one in Sacramento. They almost got game one. I believe they get game 2. I know they've been suspect as fuck on the road, but let's keep in mind, man, this is a bus ride right down the street. All right. And this is a talented basketball team. I believe a deeper basketball team. And I think they win this basketball game outright. I actually got it 1.5, -115 last night. I think -130. I'll do the Bobano bet here. -130 probably is the safest bet on the board now.
I would probably agree with you. Willie says 90% of the money on the Warriors, laugh out loud. Good luck beating the refs and the Kings. Hey, I talk about this. If you've been around since last playoffs, the Warriors are more than capable. I told y'all, this is the kind of team that you can put your money on and know they can beat the refs and the other team. So I'm not worried about that at all. And thinking about it, you guys can help me out. I don't remember the last time the Warriors went down 0-2 in a series. I really don't. And off of a loss in the playoffs, they've been pretty damn good, straight up and against the spread. So I'm liking everything that you're saying. Casey is too. She says, "Stroke it, baby, money time." But do you think it's time for the Warriors to take us all to the window tonight?
Man, their playoff record off a loss is spectacular over the years of this dominance under Steph and Clay and Draymond. I mean, 26-8 is what their record is cumulatively off a playoff loss. That's 26-8 and 34 games off a loss in the playoffs over the last 8 years. That's a tough track record to bet against. And off a loss like they had in game one, they are going to be, obviously you're going to get focused. You're going to get them trying to even up this series. They've got a chance to do that. But is this the same Golden State team as we've seen last year and 2 years ago and 3 years ago? There is something wrong with a defending NBA champion that can't win on the road, that can't play defense consistently on the road. And this is now all season. We've seen it out of Golden State on the road, and we saw it again in game one. Crunch time couldn't get stops. 11-31 with their straight up road record this year, Golden State. So, yeah, the spot says Golden State off a loss. Historically, it's been terrific. I can't bring myself to say, let's lay points on the road with Golden State, this year's group, with what I've seen from them on the road. I'm probably not taking Sacramento. I loved Sacramento in game one. I thought that was just a great spot for them. The first home game in years, forever it's been that they've been there. I always call it, it's still Arco Arena to me. I just keep thinking of the old arena of the heyday of Sacramento, but they were into it. It was a great environment. They fed off it, light the beam, all that good shit. It wasn't a smooth game for Sacramento. They were on the ropes a few times during that game, but they found a way. They clamped down a little bit toward the end. And again, that back and forth, firefight, if you will, with Curry and Fox down the stretch was just incredible to watch. I mean, it was such an exciting game. And Sacramento pulled it out. Sacramento's going to have to play even better tonight because you'll get better from Golden State. But the way I see this game, too, is more I'm looking at the total here. And I know that the game one flew over the total. And sometimes in these games, I sometimes look for the opposite to happen the next game. I'm not sure that's going to happen here. And I know, and I was on the over in game one. It was 237 and a half. It closed around that number. It's 239 and a half here. So there's been an adjustment too. I can't say there's value with the over, but I'm on it again, the over in this game, because if you look at game one, the pace was unreal. All right. It was flying up and down the court. Bing, 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 bing. That's what they were doing, back and forth, up and down the court. And they were trying to get the first shot they could find, both teams. So it was just a frenetic pace. And I think back to the fact that game one ended 126-123. We had 249 points in that game. And do you know how many missed layups there were? Missed putbacks, missed easy chip shots around the rim from both teams in that game. And it still got to 249 total points. You mentioned the Golden State three-point shooting numbers in game one. They weren't great. Klay Thompson made a few big threes, I know, later on in that game. Curry started to get hot down the stretch as well from three, but as a team, they were only 32% from three-point range. You got to expect they can shoot a little better from the perimeter. So you think about all the things that happened in game one, that all the missed easy layups around the rim, the three-point shooting, which we know for Golden State in particular can be better. And that game still had 249 points. So I like the over again here, 239 and a half, 240. I think it's just going to be and plus Golden State defensive woes all season on the road, continued in game one. I don't see what changes here in game two. So that's the bet I like here. As I was on Sacramento and the over in game one, I'm on just the over here tonight in game two. I'm off the side. There are some props that I do like. I think Steph Curry over assists. I pivot from points and look more toward assists tonight. I think he'll be looking more toward, trying to get the other teammates involved. Klay Thompson over made threes at 4.5. I mean, this guy's been going over 4.5 made 3-pointers. I think it's an incredible streak he's on with that. I think it's something like 8 games in a row for Klay Thompson over 4.5 made threes. And it's even money. It's like minus 110 for Klay Thompson over 4.5 made threes. So I like that look in the prop market. And De'Aaron Fox just went crazy. It was an amazing game. What a show for De'Aaron Fox in game one. He showed he's ready for the playoffs. Great performance. The playoff spotlight wasn't too bright for him. But I think tonight it's Keegan Murray. I'm going to buy low on Keegan Murray. He didn't shoot the ball well. Didn't shoot the ball much either in game one. But we know he's capable. He only had 2 points, 1 for 5. I think he steps up here. I like his point total over. And one last thing I'll say about this game and this series. Domantas Sabonis, if you're pissed that Mike Brown put you on the bench in the second half, you have nothing to say. Shut the fuck up is what I have to say about that. That was a soft, candy-ass performance from a big that I've seen in a long time in game one. How many missed little bunnies did you have at the rim? Missed layups, missed putbacks. Were you allergic to dunking the fucking basketball? Slam the thing down, as Bill Walton says. Throw it down, big man. Throw it down. He never did it. He was scared shitless to do it. That was a soft performance. When you get to playoff basketball and you're a big guy, Shaquille O'Neal talks about this all the time. You got to be forceful. You got to want it. You got to be physical. You got to finish strong, finish through contact. He didn't want any part of it, Sabonis, Saturday night. finishing through contact. Every time Kayvon Looney was around him, an inch around him, he shied away. Throw the thing down, show some force, show some physicality. Let's go here, man. It's the playoffs here. Stop being soft. It was sickening. There you
go. always love a good Bobano rant. Sabonis, taken out of the game. We'll see if they can get him back into the game tonight. The over, the one thing I'll say is, it's very hard for me to go against it just because, like you said, the pace that they play. I don't trust the Kings to play defense really ever. If anybody's going to slow the game down, it has to be the Warriors. And that's how Amazing is thinking here. He says the Warriors going to slow the pace down. They can't keep up. I don't know if they can't keep up, but that would be the side to slow down if anybody. WAM, do you think anybody slows the pace in this game? And who's taking it tonight?
Yeah, you know what, man? I don't know, man. I don't want to go against the pace, bro. That was crazy. They were going back, like you said, bing, 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 bing. They were just going back and forth, doing what the fuck ever they wanted to do. And then the guy that I feel like did whatever he wanted to do, along with Mikal Bridges did whatever he wanted to do against the other team. But De'Aaron Fox, man, like literally, like it didn't matter who was in front of him, bro. He broke down everybody, did some NBA street shit against these guys. Like it was just crazy to see that. And then I love the Mike Brown reference, man, with my guy Babano. He did bring him up with the adjustments that he made. He also made the adjustments. I know Keegan Murray and Sabonis that got us here into this third seed and got us into this spot, but that doesn't mean anything. You guys can get on the bench. Y'all don't have to be here when it gets to crunch time. We're trying to win. I think that was like so key into the adjustments and being able to win this game for the Kings. And I do like that they got two ex-Warrior coaches on the other side with Luke Walton and the Mike Brown there. And my son, he just told me every time I yell, bro, he quiet the whole time y'all speak. He want to speak crazy when I'm speaking. Like, damn,
maybe it was me yelling, bro. It might have been
every time, but I don't know why. But HB, I think he got the better look of these last first half of his career. Two Splash Brothers. I think he got another Splash Brothers, and then McKee and Monk and De'Aaron Fox. I can only imagine how they felt when they were in Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? They want to be like them. They want to be like Clay and Steph. They want to be like them, and they get the chance to do that shit against them. I think this is a good game for everybody to go. Yeah, the back-to-back loss. The Warriors, they should be at this certain standard. But let's talk the real and reality of the situation. They got your boy Andrew Wiggins off the couch. I know he's been working out, but he got him off the couch. Now he fell flat in the second half. That was true. And now we got the boy that got socked out in the offseason. He questionable. I know Casey thinks he's Iron Man. He wasn't Iron Man when he was knocked out. That's facts. He was not Iron Man then. So let's be real. You said be okay, Steve, for that. But no, let's be real though. Let's be honest. Let's get down to reality here. Like that pace was so frantic. I do agree that there may be some regression with De'Aaron Fox, its efficiency, and as far as Monk being able to go crazy. I think that he could continue to at least give you 20 plus. So all he needs to do is that. Everyone else needs to chip in, and like Sabonis definitely needs to chip in and be that guy. I think the rebounds is going to be there on the offensive side for the Kings in this series. It's not an anomaly, I don't believe, even though there is going to be some emphasis on the other side with Steve Kerr. I don't think the adjustments will still be there. I think it's a personnel situation, and the offensive rebounds will still be there for the Kings. So like the motherfucking beam, just based off of that. I took the Kings on the money line, and I know I got them at minus 105. It was a bad look. I should have waited. At plus 110, only right, man. Let's double up, man. We got to light that beam tonight. I think they are going to lose once it gets to the actual bay. You feel me? But for right now, it is like the beam time, man. Sacramento.
Damn, I just, it's tough to do all this stuff, the comments and the banners. I just now put the banner up. We already done with this game. But when I'm going against everybody, he says,
I'm sorry.
Hey, Casey, she not liking anything you saying. She said, like that.
By
She
the
said
way,
Warriors
playoff
can't get it
Wiggy,
done.
Andrew Wiggins, his point prop's only 14.5. I mean, it's
Yeah,
hard
I
not
was
to
looking
look at
for.
that.
I
He just
couldn't get
turned
it
into a
here.
different animal at playoff time now, 2 years in a row for Golden State.
That's easy money, bro. That's easy money. Yeah.
You
That
like that
first half
14 and
was
a half?
crazy. He could do it in the first half. That first half was crazy
Yeah.
last game.
14.5. He had 17 the other. He just turns into it. Like, he's just fit perfectly with this team. Let's be honest.
Right.
I mean, he looked
He's
like
gonna
his
be a
career
good-
was in shambles when he left Minnesota and went to Golden State. But he's been surrounded with this great winning environment, winning culture, all these great Hall of Fame players around him in Golden State, all these guys that are winners and won championships. And it's just basically, it's just rolled down on Andrew Wiggins. And he looks like a totally different player. He's played great. He's fit in nicely. He was a beast in the playoffs last year for them winning the championship. He picked it right up right where he left off from last year's playoffs in game 1 on Saturday night. The only blemish on his resume Saturday night was the missed 3-ball in the corner at the end. And it's just, it is what it is. Tough miss there. But other than that, he was terrific.
And talk about somebody.
Hey, one thing I
get away,
my fault, my fault. Go ahead, Dutch. Go ahead, Dutch. My fault, bro.
No, I was just saying, talk about someone who really just needs to get away from real life and just be around and just hoop. You know what I mean? Like he probably happy to be away from his situation. You know, we don't know. You know, I'm not gonna comment on it. Just saying, like, you know, he probably happy to be back with the boys, thinking about motherfucking basketball. Start his ass, and realistically, I would like him to play De'Aaron Fox on defense. I would think that. And someone in the chat, I believe it was G, said make De'Aaron Fox shoot threes. I would give him a little space and make him become a jump shooter. I'm a big De'Aaron Fox guy, but that's how I guard him. I put Andrew Wiggins on him, and I'd give him just a little bit. You could have that 3, but that's it, man, because he got that great first step. But go ahead, Wimby.
No, I was just gonna add to I was gonna add to what I just fucking threw wrenches into what I was gonna say, bro. I just threw wrenches into what I was gonna say, but for the most part,
Wiggins?
though, I did think that. Go ahead, bro.
You like Wiggins?
Yeah. So as far as Wiggins, like I think the problem with Wiggins, not only is you right though, like you hit everything what I was gonna say. Like he needs to be away from everybody. Like I'm happy to be with y'all right now, so I kind of agree with what you're saying there, but neither here nor there. I didn't mean to cut you off, bro. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to KC though too, and I do need to say this. Shout out to KC. We don't want to go against you here. Like, let's be real. They doing what they have to do. They have to win games at home. This is how it is. Whoever wins the first game is going to win the series on the road team. Whoever wins the road team is going to win. So neither here nor there beyond that. But shout out to my girl KC. But we're going to win today, though. Like to be.
Casey said she's not messing with you. Don't talk about Wiggins now. She said she's through with you, man. So we got through the games for today. We went pretty in detail. We've been on here for quite a while, and it's still Tuesday and Wednesday's game. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna group them all together. And if you feel stronger about any of the 3, that could be the game that you kind of focus in on there. But Atlanta and Boston, from what I saw in that first game, you know, it's kind of what I already thought. I don't expect Atlanta to be able to stop anybody. You know, they're not going to play any defense, but I do think the offense can be better. I expect them to win at least one game in this series. I don't think it'll be until they get back to Atlanta, so I'm skeptical to bet them on the spread. But after being embarrassed like that, 10.5, 10 points kind of seems like a lot. If I have to play it, I'll go to Atlanta plus the 10. New York and Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland, after losing like that, this is like do or die, right? You cannot go back to New York down 0-2. So the only way I would even think about betting this game is the Cavaliers minus the points. And Clippers versus Phoenix, I'll say that I already said it. I don't trust this Phoenix team. They don't have the chemistry. They're injury prone, et cetera, et cetera. They don't have depth. And Clippers, like I've been saying, they could potentially have the best player on the court in Kawhi. So only way I'm betting them would be how I bet them in game 1, which was the Clippers. So that's how I feel. I'm going to kick it to Dutchy first. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I don't really like anything about that Boston. I think Boston just on another level, obviously, than Atlanta. So they should – it's kind of like that series to me is a lot like the Brooklyn-Philadelphia series. So I would expect Boston to handle business. I like Cleveland an awful lot. I think Cleveland's shout out to our guy Jay Money, Smack City spot, trifecta right there. I really do. I think first quarter, first half, full game. Cavaliers all day in that spot. Like you said, it's a must win there. I think we got to take advantage of these games, really, spots like that. New York did what they had to do. They went to Cleveland and won one. They got it. Cavs have to win this motherfucking basketball game. So they're going to come out hungry early, and I think they'll put them away early. And I like Phoenix. I think the same exact thing about as I do against the Cavaliers. LA went to Phoenix and got one already. Job's done. Say what you will about Phoenix. I still think they're a better team than the Clippers. I think you will regress a little bit. Russ had his moment. I mean, he had a horrible game, but somehow, some way, ended up doing a goddamn thing at the end. So I think eventually that'll catch up. I do think the Suns smack the Clippers here. So I like the Cavaliers and I like the Suns an awful lot. Not really fucking with the Celtics.
All right, good stuff. Bobano, how you feeling about those trio games?
Yeah, it feels like for Atlanta, they might catch Boston napping, but I don't want to trust them to catch Boston napping because Boston, to me, just took them apart. And really, it would have been worse if they didn't totally call it off the dogs in the fourth quarter, in that game against Atlanta. So I'm going to look more at the over in that game. Over 229. I think that there's points in that game. I think Atlanta will shoot at least a little bit better, and they will not stop Boston again. So that total at 229, I like it to go over. Remember, that was just a complete blowout on Saturday in game one between those, or Sunday, I should say, between the, no, was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday with game one with Atlanta and Boston. So, that's, and remember, it kind of grinded down the pace later in that game. So that's a big reason why it stayed under, but I think you'll get this game actually over the total. So I like that total quite a bit. Yeah, I'm going to go with Cleveland. And I was on New York. I said I liked New York in game one. I wasn't sure they'd win outright, but I thought, they would absolutely be able to compete in that game. They were really good down the stretch as well. But I think this is the Cleveland spot. Remember, Cleveland's still been a great home team this year. I think this is their spot to really, even up the series, come out with that purpose. So I'll lay the 4.5, 5 with Cleveland in game two. And I think this is a good zigzag theory series. Zigzag theory doesn't work in the NBA playoffs if it's a mismatch series. If one team's just better than the other, the zigzag theory will not work, just betting the team that lost the previous game. It works a lot more in a series that you think is going to be competitive. And I think you're going to see that with the Knicks and the Cavs, because I still think that series has 7 games. Written all over it. So I like Cleveland tomorrow. And then in the third game, Clippers and Suns, I think I'm kind of going where Skee's going. I thought going into game one, it was mispriced, that the game one was mispriced, that the series a little bit was mispriced. And I kind of feel that way here, that it's just we're in the wrong price range right now with these two teams. Phoenix is still trying to sort out chemistry. That was as clear as day what we saw yesterday in game one with that. These are guys that have not played a shit ton of basketball with each other since the Kevin Durant arrival. And and this is a tough team to get that chemistry right against. A Clippers team that is well coached by Ty Lue, can play defense, has playoff Kawhi ready to take his game to another level. That's scary for Phoenix. He looked healthy and he looked ready to dominate again at playoff time. And that question was still out, whether Kawhi could get to that level again, flip that switch again. He sure looked like he could last night. Yes, Phoenix doesn't want to go down 0-2. Yes, you got the desperate sense of urgency effort from the Suns, but I think that series and these games, game to game so far, have been mispriced, and I'm not laying that many points with Phoenix, even in a game they have to win. I'd take Clippers, if anything.
All right, good stuff. A lot of opinions wrapped up there. Wham, bam. How you feeling about Tuesday's action?
Yeah, you know what? I starting off with the game here. I go back to the game with the Phoenix game. I mean, bro, like I don't know. Like KD kind of should have took over the game a lot earlier. You know what I'm saying? He should have took over the game a lot earlier than later. I don't want to be a Clippers supporter here, that's for sure. But I think the Clippers kind of are the better team. They are the better team. Don't let fucking Paul George come back. Again, like Billy just said, like, don't wait until Paul George come back. Then it's really going to be like, yeah.
He could screw things up, honestly.
He can, but honestly, I think he can only make it better, though. I think he can only make it better because they're only going to have better guys to defend and then guys that could close out with. You've seen it how to end. Like, Russell Westbrook was closing out towards the end of the game. He almost gave that shit back up by turning over the ball and everything. Those are possessions that Paul George will have, and most likely he's going to be converting those buckets. So that's kind of how I look in this game. The way they are playing with house money, you definitely want to go back and forth. I do agree with you guys with the Cleveland look, though. So starting off with the Cleveland look, I mean, I do agree with you guys there. I think that Cleveland is going to have to bounce back. The problem is though that they got such terribly out rebound with all those trees they have. My guy Skee was talking about before this show, like with all those trees they have, they should have did way better on the boards. I mean, barely getting the double with the boy Jared Allen and then Evan Mobley. I mean, we need a lot more from you, my guy. We need a lot more from you. Trading away Laurie Marketing, that's basically us saying that we believe in you. And you're not doing the things that we expect you to do. So now that it's kind of already bounced back, it slapped him in the face. Now he's an all-star when you trade him away. You're kind of looking at this guy like in the offseason. I mean, as far as the playoffs, like, man, you should have been that guy as far as Evan Mobley. So I don't want to go against the Knicks in the early spot. So I'm not going to do the trifecta, but I think that the Cavs are the better spot for a game there. So shout out to my guy, Billy. But what I will say though, for the other game there, I know we didn't talk about it with the Lakers. I'm on the Lakers plus 2.5, man. Ja Morant ain't going to play, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Ja Morant ain't going to be out there. He fell hard just as much as Giannis fell hard. I'm skeptical about Giannis as well, but I think he comes back quicker than Ja Morant. I like the Lakers there, man. I'm on the Lakers plus 2.5, plus 2, whatever you could get there. I think they are showing it. Hillbilly Kobe is real. Shout out to my guy Picks with Dave. Yep, he is real as fuck, bro. That is a real legend of the boy Austin Reeves. But the thing is about that is that we don't even have to worry about LeBron. LeBron is probably out the way now. He sees it as well. I think that's the best thing about the Lakers right now. LeBron sees it, so maybe he's out the way. He doesn't have to force it, and that's the reason why I like the Lakers mostly in this series. So, yeah, lock it in right there, 2.5 with the Lakers.
Well, you leading us right into Wednesday's games right there, Wham. We got the Lakers, Memphis, Miami, and Milwaukee, Minnesota, and Denver. And, I'm happy right now with my series bet on Lakers plus 130. Last I saw it's minus 250 right now with Ja Morant. Unsure if he's going to play in game 2. So I think I'm in a good position right here. Memphis does have experience playing without Ja Morant during the season. They did play well. But, now it's with no Ja Morant, no Steven Adams, no Brandon Clark. It's starting to become too much. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be involved in this individual game. I'll just ride my series price. If the Lakers somehow happen to lose this game, I'm pretty sure I'll be on them when they come back to the house in game 3. So I'll leave that one alone. I'll just rock with my series price. Maybe, you know what? Without Ja Morant there, I'll have to look towards some kind of under or something of that nature. He's going to slow the pace is going to slow without him, I think. And obviously they're just going to miss his scoring. I think they're a lot easier to defend without him on the court. So lean under. Miami, Milwaukee. I'm not getting in there with Milwaukee again. Home favorites in the playoffs after they lose game 1 have been really good, straight up and against the spread. It opened 7. It's all the way up to 8.5 or 9 already. It's just I want to know that Giannis is healthy, which I don't. And Miami, they gave them fits with that zone they were playing. They're going to pack the paint and force Milwaukee to make some outside shots. So I just don't feel as comfortable. And then Minnesota and Denver. Only way I can look is Denver in the series when they're at the house, especially. They did have the rest advantage coming into this series. Minnesota's been playing the game every other day. So until, they get a couple of days rest till they go back home, I'm not looking Minnesota's way. So I'll lean Denver in that game. I will go backwards this time. I'll go to Bobano. Wednesday's games, Lakers, Memphis, Miami, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Denver.
Yeah, I was on the Lakers too in game 1, but there's just a sneaking suspicion, even if Ja doesn't play, the Lakers have it in them to go up 2-0 on the road. That's the thing. Memphis is still a great home team, and you're going to get their best effort here trying to avoid 0-2 down. So I don't know if I trust the Lakers fully. I do think the Lakers are live in this series, are still going to win this series, and I love them in game 1, but game 2, I think, let's see. I'm kind of with Skee in that, wait till game 3. Maybe they lose game 2. You can back them in game 3. That could very well happen. But it also wouldn't shock me without Ja if they go up 2-0 because Memphis is hurting. Memphis doesn't have size to contend with AD. Nobody. Like with no Steven Adams, no Brandon Clark, there's nobody that can handle AD. As long as AD stays healthy and playing in this series, and he almost had an injury scare yesterday in the first half, and you're like, oh boy, here we go again with Anthony Davis. Cotton candy and plastic body parts come into play again, but thankfully he was able to return. Yeah, thankfully he was able to return and was fine after that, but still had your heart in your throat for a minute if you're a Laker fan. The other games, look, I kind of want to take Milwaukee, but this has been now. There's been enough evidence that Miami's, for some reason, been a tough matchup for them. And now with Giannis' status up in the air, I'm not loving laying that many points with Milwaukee there in that game. I think that might be a good under. I know the first game flew over. Might be looking at a decent under there. And then Minnesota, Denver. This one, never mind 5-game series. This may be over in 4. If we can trust Denver on the road, that is. And we know Denver at times doesn't play the same way on the road as they do at home. But that was rough for Minnesota last night. Really, really bad. And I don't know if it's going to get any better for them. I mean, Joker's doing whatever he wants. I mean, he destroyed Karl Anthony Towns last night. I mean, just destroyed him. Fed him his lunch last night. It was embarrassing, actually, for KAT to play like that. I don't know if it's going to change, though, because I just think he's got the matchup advantage. Denver's probably going to end that series quickly. Maybe look at Denver. If they fall behind early, maybe a live bet, because that could happen. Maybe they're asleep early, but I think they're too good for Minnesota. And I think that game will go over the total because I think Minnesota will get better offensively. I do like the over in that Minnesota-Denver game.
I would agree with you on that as well. Dutchy, last 3 games, 3-piece on Wednesday. You like any of them?
Yeah, man. I really don't like the games on Wednesday, to be quite honest with you. But I will tell you, I'm already seeing 1.5 at BetMGM on the Lakers. So I think Bobano was onto something at the start of his breakdown in that game. I think Grizzlies win that game. I know our boy Tone Miggs in the chat. AOD, I see you too. Tone Miggs said he did the sweep and then he got the 4-1. I think it's going to be the gentleman's sweep, bro. I think you'll cash your 4-1 ticket there. I think they lose. I think the whole world's going to be on LA. I really do. I mean, I think the whole fucking world's going to be on LA game 2. I think it's going to be easy money. And I do think they're watching game 1, even with Ja, the Grizzlies are overmatched. They are missing Clark and Adams. They would have a big edge, and AD is just loving life. I mean, he still almost got fucking hurt without those guys out there, but he's just absolutely loving that he doesn't have to deal with either one of those 2 boys. So yeah, man, I don't know if I'll get to the window if it gets high enough and looks appealing enough, and everything adds up. I could be on Memphis game 2, but I do think they win that basketball game, and I think the Lakers probably sweep them. Maybe they'll fuck around and lose 1, but they should win in 5. The Lakers are clearly a better team. They're deeper. Schroeder, they got boys. I mean, I don't know. We'll see the next matchup here, but the Lakers definitely got lucky with the seeding here and getting Memphis. Let's just say, because they are the better team out of the 2. So shout out to everyone, you, Skee, and everyone else that got the plus money on the series. Yeah, you could tell that after watching 1 game. It's just too much for them. And Austin Reed, shout out to Picture Dave, man, Hillbilly Kobe. I don't know about all that, but the boy's nice, man. He played point at Oklahoma, so you see that on the court. Very confident, got the size, knows how to play well with others. That's why LBJ loves this motherfucker, because he's like a point guard out there. So you gotta love playing with someone like that. I'm liking what I see from confidence and can stroke the 3, playing with unreal confidence. So you gotta like to see it. The other 2 games, too much question marks for me with Milwaukee. Obviously, I expect them to bounce back. Let's see there, and then
Minnesota, Denver.
Yeah, Denver, Minnesota. Not too much for me there. Denver, you would expect Minnesota to show up a little bit after that fucking embarrassment. So I would lean, honestly, Minnesota, because I think they have the talent to play with Denver. I do think Denver's the better team. But, man, it's crazy there in the Mile High. It gets crazy quick. Games get out of control real quick there. So 8-9 points isn't really too much in Denver.
Good stuff. I love that we're doing this show. A lot of good information, and it helps me out myself, just capping the games and hearing what you guys think and what
always
you guys
good
like.
to work with you guys. Yep.
Yeah, love it. We have 234 people live in the chat. If you guys like the show as well, hit the like button, subscribe so you guys know when we are live. And it's about that time. We've been on here for about an hour. Let's get the best bets, and then we can hit the road. So I'm going to kick it to my guy, Dutchy, first. I have a feeling I know which way he's going here. I don't think it's going to be his favorite team. What you like tonight,
No.
Dutch?
Yeah, I got a way better number on it, but I do believe they win the game. Don't get crazy. I think minus 130. We'll treat it like baseball. It's still in the number. It's under minus 135. So I think Warriors, Dub Nation, town motherfucking business tonight, minus 130. It's good money.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And we're going to come right back to you, Bobano. How you feeling about a best bet for tonight?
Yeah, let's give you one for tonight. Let's go with over 239.5 Golden State Sacramento. I totally understand that, maybe Golden State will want to slow things down a bit, but the way I see it, we had 149 in the first game. We didn't even get, Golden State shooting the three ball well. We got a ton of missed layups, missed easy shots around the rim that could easily went in. And like even De'Aaron Fox early in the game, he was short arming some of his layups when he was driving to the basket. If we get all of that cleaned up to go with the incredible pace that was set in game one, I don't know if the result is going to change. I think it's going to be another high-scoring affair. It goes over the total, and all we needed is to hit 240, and it did that even with a light-scoring first half. It really didn't pick up game one until the second half. So I think it's just Golden State's defense not good enough on the road. I think each team is going to have trouble defending the other throughout this series. I think we get another over here in game two. So Warriors Kings over 239.5 for best bet.
Good stuff. And I can't talk you off. Kings don't play any defense. Warriors more than capable of scoring as well. Wham Bam, they touched one game. Are you going to touch the other game, or you rolling in that same game for your best bet?
Yeah, the best bet for me is just going to be Cam Johnson, bro, over 2.5 3-point makes. That's how I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it just right there. I'll keep it in the same game pretty much. And I think that's pretty much it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of attention towards Mikal Bridges. Cam Johnson has to be that second guy, bro. So give me the over 2.5 3-point makes. Plus 120.
I love it. I'm not on it, but it sounds good. My best bet, I'm going to rock with the other game, man. Let's get a little bit of action across the board. I think the bookmakers moved the lineup on Philly game, compared to the last game for a reason. The Nets, they just can't fuck with them, man. What you say, Dutch? It's levels to this shit, and they not on their level. So
Right.
give me the Philadelphia 76ers minus 10 as my best bet. And it's only right if I kick it to my guy, Dutch, to take us home.
Yeah, man, it's only right. Hey, salute to them real ones holding us down in the chat. Hey, yo, D Martinez, picks from Dave. Good to see everyone in there. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah.